Flex Luther, Morgan Sneaker Room. So much soul about to bust out the room. All different flavors, way more than 32. Come with these shoes, you can't mess with these dudes. Nike Reeboks, about to sock the knees. Golden Goose is on dude.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flex Luther, and none other than Morgan Sneaker Room. Today, guys, we are blessed with a guest. What's up? What's new? And how you feeling, my guy?
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure. I've been seeing you a lot. You've been going crazy on Instagram. Today we got Front Page Aaron. Man, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let the people know where they can find you.
Man, just Front Page Aaron across the board. I'm not really on sneaker Twitter yet, but you
don't have to be. That's somebody you don't gotta go. You don't have to go there.
The darkness that is sneaker Twitter. But yeah, Instagram and YouTube for the most part, but mostly Instagram.
Yeah, love that.
We just now getting on sneaker Twitter. I mean, we're not really active. I just kind of be watching, from the fence, like what they doing over there,
we on TikTok too now, right?
Yeah, we are.
I just found out we're on TikTok. I'm like, hey, Soul Brothers podcast on TikTok now. Good for us. Good for them.
Good for Soul Brothers.
Oh yeah, we just made a TikTok and recently did a Discord. Again, just trying to polish up the product, man. Just really trying to get in any avenue that we possibly can.
For sure.
I mean, speaking of avenues, I mean, I've been seeing what you've been doing, and the media run that you're on, man, the videos that you're dropping, and I gotta say, I truly appreciate that, man. It's one of those things where, like, all right, this feels real, this feels authentic, and nowadays you don't really see that. You can see where people throw in those little points where it's like, oh, this is a little clickbait here, this is a rage bait right here, So it's just kind of like you just kind of swipe away. Well, this is the greatest shoe all the time, and it's like that's not the greatest shoe all the time.
Yeah,
you just swipe past. So man, I appreciate what you're doing, man. I definitely appreciate it.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we need more of that in the sneaker space, but I think everyone contributes in their own way, right? Like I think for me, sneakers isn't about like the flashy stuff, and like it isn't about having the most expensive shoes. It's always been about just loving shoes and curating my collection around that. So for everyone, I mean, yeah, we did see a lot of people that made their way in because of the flashy stuff, and I hate seeing videos like I paid $10,000 for this mystery box. Like bro, no average person is dropping $10,000 on shoes, right? And so I feel like someone needed to, like, we need several voices speaking for like the actual sneakerhead, not just a YouTube one.
Yeah. I can tell you, man. When I started seeing videos like that, I'm not gonna say any names or anything like that, but like I started seeing videos like that, and I was kind of like, all right, I could feel like there was a change in the sneaker space coming, because it's like, yeah, like you said, the mystery boxes. I think that was kind of like the marker for me, where it's like, all right, we're starting to get more mainstream. We're starting to attract a different audience, people who are more than just collectors and lovers of sneakers, but they're chasing that validation and that status of saying that you spent a certain amount of money. And we knew that those mystery boxes are cooked too, right? Like they're getting cooked up for the video, right? Yeah. Like, if Neris and Hevel just, decides he reaches out to a company and says, hey, I want to do a mystery box unboxing. Right, like what can you cook up for me? Like they're trying to sell a product too. Yep. So when it started becoming unattainable, even my favorite creators like Bullet RC, when they were like, yeah, we got this special edition off-white whatever, and like just shoes and nobody's gonna be able to get. Yeah. Things started changing. Like it was very clear. So it was good to have people. And I think this is where me and Flex came in. Like just having people who want to show love to sneakers the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with that being said, how we always do, we're gonna start off with what we wore today. Flex, you going first?
Yeah, the shoe that I plan on wearing today will be the Jazz 9 Saucony J Tips. I love you, but I'm busy.
That's a good
I
one.
really haven't got a chance to wear these yet. But I'm actually gonna try to put a fit on today. Like I usually just kind of throw them on just because I'm running around and they nice. I like having people looking down at my feet if I don't have nothing on really, put together. So yeah, that's the pair I'm shooting for.
All right. First time in Soul Brothers history. What I've already worn today is
Yo, that's crazy.
the Saucony
I like it.
J Tips. I love you, but I'm busy. Not a shoe that I've worn a whole lot, but I love people looking down at my feet and whatever Flex just said. So,
Yeah, I haven't worn my pair actually. I need to wear that pair.
Yeah,
these are fantastic.
I love how they look on feet, man. I love like I was telling Morgan, I'm just recently getting into runners, and I'm already looking at the boats, and I'm not a fan of those when they're on
The
feet,
boats?
like the boat shape of a runner, like more of like a flat foot runner type.
Yeah.
And that's what I get from the Jazz 9, the Omni 9s. So I love the way it looks on foot. But yeah.
Yeah. I wore these. I taught a tennis lesson in them already today because I forgot my tennis shoes at home, like my court shoes. So I had to wear these. So it's all good though. All good.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, what'd you wear?
All right, same mentality as you guys, but I'm on the
Yes.
Okay.
the Yachty Air Force Ones. My whole entire ethos is that '05 to '09 era of sneakers is kind of what made me fall in love with shoes, and so when these came out, they were a must cop, man.
Yeah. I tried for those and was not able to get them. I thought
That surprised me. I didn't think they were going to be that hard to get because people
I
were
didn't
just
either.
complaining about patent leather and how they crease and stuff, and I'm like, all right, these are probably sit, or like the Concrete Boys, the first ones didn't do too hot, so I'm like, all right, but for whatever reason, either the Nike marketing machine or people actually mess with the patent leather this time, these sold out. I hit on the Yachty site, so I got lucky.
okay. I tried on Kith, and I tried on Kith for those and the white cement 4s, man. I didn't hit on either of those, and I'm just like, I thought we were cool, man. I thought
we were friends.
yeah, like I'm Vitality, man. I'm a Vitality member with Kith. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I think that's what's so different about this pair, because it kind of reminds you of that '05, '09 Air Force patent leather, crazy color type deal.
Yeah.
And that's what I got from it. Still not an Air Force guy.
I'm not either, but I wanted those.
I'm cool on them. I'm cool on them. I'm not even gonna push to try to get those pair because honestly, I don't want them. But I can see why they did better than the first pair, because it's just that nostalgic feeling of those wild colorways, those baggy pants, Air Forces at the bottom. That's what it reminds me of, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to go for. When because isn't it themed by like a previous Air Force one?
I don't know.
I think he's paying homage to one of the original Air Forces that he used to like, or something like that. I can't remember, but I think that's what he's going for. Obviously, with what he's dropping, also with the baggy shorts, and it's just kind of all ties into that Air Force era that we've seen a couple of years back with the baggy pants and lean with it, rock with it.
You said something about the marketing machine, because I remember that's the shoe that they just put random New Yorkers in, which I thought was, I think that was really cool.
I thought it was pretty dope.
It was smart. It made you feel like you were in the Upon the Replay video. Man, Yachty is one of the few celebrities that I think actually know shoes, right? We have a lot of celebrities that are quasi sneakerheads that just kind of wear stuff because they get free shoes. But Yachty, I don't know if you guys remember like the complex sneaker battles during COVID, and
yes, absolutely.
and even like I think Complex Sneakers did a couple of things with Yachty, and he actually like knew his stuff. So it was nice to see that he actually cared about sneakers beyond just like, hey, we're getting free shoes, so we'll wear them.
Yeah, a lot of times when we talk about like the celebrities who are, they say they're in the sneakers, but we can tell they're not. We always have to put in there, we're not talking about Yachty, right? Like, we are not talking about Yachty.
So I just looked it up. It's paying homage to the Bapester era of 2000.
Yeah.
So that's where the patent leather and those crazy. It's paying to the aesthetics of the Yachty's electric flare. All right. What was you saying, Aaron? I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, just whenever we talk about celebrities who are in the sneakers, right, and just kind of into sneakers because it's cool, not really like in the sneakers. We always put in there that we're not talking about Yachty. Like, Yachty is one of the few people where we're like, yo, like, he knows his stuff.
Yeah, I know. So I would like to touch bases, man. Like we said, we've been seeing you everywhere, and I feel like you do a good job at managing and creating your own brand. There's a lot of people, I mean, we all do our own little personal videos, and we try to create these personal connections, but I feel like you do a better job with that. And the more I see you, I feel like the more you kind of get your own identity, which poses me to ask, like, what's the plans beyond, just the videos? Are there thoughts about anything else?
Yeah, man, I haven't really thought too much into that. I think I want to bring back written form in sneakers, right? Like, I remember I loved reading Sneaker News and Nice Kicks back when they were primarily like written source, and I think that's kind of dying or dead. But for me, the nostalgia, or like, I enjoy it. Like, I still pull up Sneaker News and read the 2 paragraphs that they put now, or like, I actually read the Brendan Dunn episode, or the Spirit On article that he wrote. I really enjoy that. But I think for me, man, like, I took 7 months off last year of creating content, and it was like the majority of the year I didn't do it because I kind of had to ground myself again in what I was doing this for, right? Like, I think if I was like chasing the algorithm or like chasing trends, and I just didn't find enjoyment in that because I didn't get into this space for it. Like, originally, like 5 years ago during COVID, when everyone was starting a podcast, me and my brothers started a show. It was called the Goody Two Shoes Show, and that was meant to just build connections, like to talk to people we'd always looked up to or wanted to meet in sneakers, and so we did that, and then he ended up from that getting a job at Solomon in marketing, and so we just ended up as like breaking up, and well, not breaking up, we just couldn't do it anymore. But for me, I was like, I want to continue it. Like, I enjoy building these connections, and so I really don't have any future plans. Like, I don't have a goal to be at 1 million followers or anything like that. I just hope to continue having conversations about sneakers and doing my little part in building or maintaining the sneaker community.
Yeah, I mean, so we are looking for a newsletter writer, because there's a Soul Brothers newsletter that will be coming very soon. I'm working on that now. But what, like, was he the one that was running the show? Like, why did he get like, were y'all all up for the marketing job, or it was just kind of like something that he was working on by himself, or?
He was the only one that wore Solomon.
Oh, okay.
So we had, it was back in like the Clubhouse era. I don't know if you guys are ever on Clubhouse, but he actually really liked Solomon, and this guy at the time, Mark and Brands were jumping onto Clubhouse sneaker rooms, right, and asking a bunch of questions, and so he like happened to join one of the rooms, and he's like, yeah, I'm the lead marketing guy for Solomon, and we were just like, just watch our show, see what you think. And so he watched it, and afterwards we would do like a recap room where we would talk about the episode and yada yada yada. And so he just messaged my cousin. He's like, hey, you're into Solomon, tell me a little bit more about that. And that kind of stemmed from there. But it just came from knowing sneakers, like
Yeah.
he saw that he actually knew what he was talking about. And at the time, Solomon was looking into breaking into more urban, like making more lifestyle shoes, and they had that big switch. And then I mean, he will never take credit for it, but I always give him credit. Like, I feel like my brother is almost solely responsible for Solomon getting into some of the urban markets, because before that, Solomon was like a snowboarding brand, right? Like, they had some cool shoes, but before that, you didn't see, like, in the last several years, how many celebrities you've seen wearing Solomon, or how many kids in big cities wearing Solomons, whereas before, that was like a country shoe.
I got my first pair of Solomons in December of last year, and it's like, I'm checking for them now. I wasn't checking for them 2-3 years ago. So I mean, right in front of me right now, I'm looking at the end collaboration, the Emerald pair. So I mean, if that's your brother, man, hey, he's killing it.
For real. Nah, that's dope, man. Those are the things that I'm happy to see. Those are the things I feel like should happen a lot more often than they do, because those are the people that are actually in the community, that are actually having these conversations, that you can actually get a conversation and it's meaningful to marketing, because it's speaking from the people. There's a lot of times where there's 10 people in the room and none of them honestly probably don't even wear the brand. They're only wearing it because they work for the brand, So like, it's just like, oh, we're gonna drop this, we're gonna drop that, and that ain't what we wanted. So I think that's why we need those brands to listen to the podcast, that need to watch these videos, that need to follow these social media influencers, and get some real, like, oh, this is what they want, this is what talks to them, this is what they respect. So
I think it's definitely a balance. Like, I think sneakerheads, we tend to think we know everything, and we know, like, from a community perspective, we know what people are wearing, we know what shoes did and didn't do well, and we have like the historical context to a lot of it, right? Like, we know that Nike basketball had like a mega run, right? And this is what made it hot in like 2009 to like 2013. Like, so we can give that historical context. And I do think that if in a room of 10 people, I think 4 to 5 need to be sneakerheads. Like, I think you have the 4 to 5 that understand marketing and that world, and because we can be a little tunnel vision and like narrow-minded in our marketing ideas, right? Like, but I do think without that context that sneakerheads can provide, I think that's why major brands often like miss the mark, because you need people in the room, like you're saying, Flex, that actually know what the culture is about, or what people are feeling, or what's moving, versus having just a marketing brain or a marketing mind behind it.
100% agree with that. I want to speak on, what do you feel are the trends that are shaping sneakers right now? Just the platform and the culture itself. What are the trends that we're seeing that's kind of shaping it for the future, in your opinion?
That's a good question. I think kids don't care about sneakers anymore, and that's a major trend that brands need to catch up on, because the whole nostalgia, marketing that they're doing now isn't going to last forever, right? Like, in 10 years from now, like, we've already bought the white cement 4 or 7 times, and so I don't know if we would want an 8th pair of it. And then, so right now it's working, right? Because they're like, all right, we've retroed everything they wanted to see retro, so now let's open the vault and let's.
So I think brands need to adapt to the fact that kids don't like sneakers anymore. Like, kids, it's all about trends and fashion for them, right? Whereas I think sneakerheads have always been kind of into fashion, but it's always been streetwear, and that's always been led by the sneakers. Whereas, like, now, I don't know, I think, Morgan, you coach, right? So you probably see it from kids, like, they'll pick up on some things, like the Travis Scotts are coming out, or but like my students are more concerned if I have like luxury, like, if, hey, do you have a pair of Rick Owens? I will never wear a pair of Rick Owens, by the way, but that's it for them. Whereas, like, I think for us, when, like, we had people that wear the Pradas, but those were for like going out, right? So
the Prada cups.
Yep, the Prada cups.
Yep.
So I think that's the biggest adjustment or trend that needs to needs to happen is brands need to figure out how to get kids caring about shoes again.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, I mean, because now I see a lot of kids in New Balance. I see a lot of kids in the gray New Balance. I was doing a lesson with one of my former students. She's graduated college now, but she was asking me where she finds this pair of like 530s, New Balance 530s. I'm just like, like, how did we get here? How do we get to this moment where you're asking me how to find a pair of New Balance 530s and asking me if you should go on to StockX to get them? But that's what the kids want. The kids, I mean, that's what's trendy right now, and that's what's cool. So, like, I think we've talked about it. Like, me and Flex have definitely talked about it a lot. But like, a lot of my love for sneakers comes from moments in sports, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, what was Jordan wearing? I mean, I wasn't wearing for a long time. I would prioritize the colorways that Jordan wore over the non-OG colorways.
Yep.
So, and now, I mean, nobody cares.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say nobody cares. The kids don't care because they don't have anything. They don't have a reference point.
I feel like one day you just wake up and you just don't understand like the current generation anymore. Like, I try to like look at it at both sides. Like, am I just older and seeing it from a different perspective? Like, am I just not connected to that age? You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to see, like, why didn't you like this shoe? Like, what about this shoe did you like? Nah, I don't want that shoe. And then this shoe, you're like, oh, I gotta have it. Because I was so surprised with the Metallic 5s. Like, I just knew the Metallic 5s would be a shoe that was set. I didn't put in for no raffles. I didn't set up no pay, nothing. I was just like, I'll get them. And now they're sitting at $500. And I'm just like, what happened? What changed from y'all liking 4s and don't worry about the OG colorways to like Metallic 5s? We gotta have those. We gotta have those. And it's just like I don't really understand the current I ain't gonna say the current audience or the people that try to reach out. Just the current generation of kids is like what they're really looking for when it comes to sneakers. Cause it's hit or miss now. It's truly hit or miss. One shoe shoot up, next shoe is gonna be a flop.
Yeah, it's like what Morgan was saying. There's no reference point. Like, these kids couldn't. If you put a lineup of like a bald black guys, they couldn't tell you who Michael Jordan was, right? Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and I say that being funny, but I think it's true. Like, they've never watched Space Jam. They have no attention. They have no care for who Jordan was, right? Like, they look up, or their players are like SGA and you know, some of them LeBron, but like that's their reference point, right? They don't even know Iverson, right? Like, Iverson is a thought of the past for them, and things move so quickly in their world. Whereas like when we grew up, you had your Jordan drop like once a month, right? Like, you knew once a month this shoe was coming out. They're seeing 7, 8, 9 shoes come out every week, and so for them it's like, yo, how do we keep up? Or like, how do we even care enough? Like, do we have the brain width or bandwidth? To care about 10 shoes a week? We just don't, right? So they pick what they see their friends are wearing or what's cool. And yeah, like those runners like have become kind of the thing for them. So yeah, I see like my school where I teach is pretty strict. So they have uniform and they get rewarded by having like a free shoe day. So that's kind of where you see their personalities. And that New Balance 530 does numbers. The Panda Dunk still doing numbers. But that's it. Like, they could care. If I wear the J Tips shoe to school, they'd be like, what are those, Mr. Diaz? Like, what are those? You know, like, what are you wearing?
I mean, so it's for transparency, we're recording on the Memorial Day, and yesterday was race day, the Indy 500 in Indianapolis where I'm at. And so everybody's, you know, downtown, and so me and my wife, we went and ate somewhere, and I'm looking at people's shoes as we do, and I'm just looking at like, what is the normal civilian wearing, right? And I mean, it's New Balances and Panda Dunks, right? Like, not, you know, I'm not going to be the other voice in the room that hates on the Panda Dunks, but it's like, it looks like the average person, we're talking about people our age, are wearing shoes that they don't need to have a bunch of different pairs. If you get a pair of gray, white, black New Balances, you don't have to have another pair of shoes to go with a different outfit, right? You can just throw those shoes on with everything. So I think what that is one of the things that kids are looking for is versatility, right? Like our versatility is I got this one outfit that I can wear 15 different pairs of shoes with, right? And they got it the other way around. They got these 15 outfits they can wear this one pair of shoes with.
Yeah, I think you, Aaron. I think you brought up a critical point, because I said this a couple of years ago. I would say, like, we're getting to a point where people are not going to know who Michael Jordan is. As far as it comes to basketball, like, he's going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be like, oh, the guy that owns Jordans, or the guy that created Air Jordans. You know, that's what it's going to be. And man, the OGs were mad at me. Like, you just don't know what you're talking about. Ain't nobody ever going to forget Michael Jordan. And it's just like, it's gonna happen.
You were
man.
right.
It's gonna happen. And I feel like it was a smart move with him going back into sports talk. I feel like it's gonna make him relevant again. Kind of gonna be like, who is this guy? Like, what did he do? Why he can talk on Anthony Edwards, or how is he talking on LeBron James? What does he got to add? And then that's when they're gonna look at the clips and like, oh, okay, that's who he is.
Well, that's why I said, like, in those marketing rooms, right, there needs to be that balance of, like, people that know marketing and then sneakerheads, because that's a sneakerhead take. Like, oh, man, Michael Jordan's iconic and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, to you, right? Like, you will never forget Michael Jordan but if we're talking, if I'm a sneaker brand and I'm trying to sell shoes, like, I have to acknowledge that these kids, Michael Jordan means less and less to them, right? The idea of Michael Jordan will always be important, right? In basketball talks, if you like basketball, but it's almost like the idea of Jordan is there now versus the actual player, right? Like when you're picturing Michael Jordan, you're picturing like the shoes versus like before it was like the Wizards or the Bulls or the 3P or the last shot. Like those are the things that you remembered Michael Jordan for, whereas like now it's like, oh yeah, it's the shoes. So I think sneakerheads, I mean, it's true. Like in 10 years, bro, I showed Space Jam. I was watching some friends' kids, and we watched Space Jam, and they didn't know who they were watching. Like, these are like smaller kids. So I was like, oh, that's Jordan. And they were looking at me like, and I said, no, Michael Jordan, like the shoes. And they were like, oh, the shoes, that's him? You know? So like, they it's true, man. Like that's accurate, whether people want to admit it or not. Like, I feel like they take it personal. Like, it's not a personal attack on you, but it's just the reality that Jordan hasn't been around.
We see it with the old heads who, like, when they start talking about like George Gervin and like Alex English and Adrian Dantley, it's like to my generation, I'm like, okay, they're nice, but it's not Jordan, it's not Iverson. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm an Indiana fan. It's not Jermaine O'Neal, right? So, now we're just seeing that, even because we're like bombarded with sports takes and highlights. Like anybody can make a highlight clip now to make any player look incredible. So it's like, SGA is going to be their GOAT. Like Anthony Edwards is going to be their GOAT because he relates more to them. So I can see, I mean, Jordan is going to have to find a new way to speak to the kids because, I mean, we were talking about the white cement 4, and I was able to go and get that shoe at almost 8 p.m. on release day. No problem, in and out.
No. I mean, I thought that's how the metallic files were going to be. I thought that's how I was going to be able to just kind of like, I get them later. I ain't got no rush. I get them. And that's how I'm really feeling about the white cements. I still have my 2016 pair, which is pretty intact. So I'm just really just waiting, till I, all right, I get them now.
I had the 2012, so it was time.
Oh, yeah.
It was time. It was time.
I'd like to move on to your teaching educator background. When you're creating content, do you kind of implement any of those? Do you kind of reference back to being a teacher when you creating your videos or creating your content?
To be honest, I think the only way it does like reference or connect is that I like My content is more like educational, I guess, in a way, like where I like to ask questions, or I like to talk about the history or talk about how something has evolved versus but no, I do teach, and I maybe I should incorporate it a little bit more. I teach marketing, and so I've thought about making my sneaker page more on, like, you know, not trying to steal Beamer spotlight, but like like talking more about the marketing of shoes. But to be fair, like, I don't care enough yet about it. Like, maybe in a couple months, I'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, let's talk more about marketing and how they do it for sneakers. But I really just like talking about topics going on in shoes and the history of a shoe, or, you know, so not yet. I mean, it is a conversation starter, I think, with my students, like, because they're used to not seeing teachers in sneakers. And so if I wear a pair of Jordan 4s or Jordan 1s to school, they're like, oh, okay, Mr. Diaz, I see the kicks, right? And so but like I said, it's hard to have these conversations with them because they honestly don't care, right? Like, they'll come up and show me like their Rick Owens, or they'll come up and show me like their Travis Scotts when they get them, right? Like they have to wear all black shoes in my school, and so they what's the color of the Travis Scotts? The
Phantom
joints? The Phantom or whatever. Yeah. So all of them will have those. Like, Mr. Diaz, you think these are hard? You know, and I'm like, yeah, those are cool. You know.
You got to be kind, man. You got.
Like, you know, you paid $1,000, or the black hat 4s are a pretty big thing. But for the most part, I'm still figuring out myself how to bridge that gap, right? Like, between our generation of collecting and theirs, and not trying to invalidate what they like, but also just be like, hey, this is why you should care a little bit more about these, or maybe just even learn a little bit more, like, you know. So I'm still figuring that out as well, trying to bridge that gap.
Yeah, that's been that has been an issue for me as well, because I've also taken a break from creating TikToks and stuff like that, and you know, I'm looking at getting back into it, but it's like, okay, what I'm into is different than what most of the people on TikTok are into, right? Like, I'm into not just the runners, but like, I'm into the runners of like 2012, 2011. Like, I want to show people these shoes, get people to care about them, and at the same time, like, expand to a new audience. And so trying to find that way to bridge that gap, like, I've tried using like AI to create some art that are, you know, based around the shoes, to kind of illustrate like what the inspiration is, and that's going okay. But like, you know, it is hard finding that way to bridge that gap, because what I'm into is like the old Nike ads from the 90s and the 80s. And, you know, I don't know if, like, I know that we're into that kind of stuff, but how can I get a population of 18 to 25-year-olds to be into that, and like grow the page and grow the brand in a meaningful way? Because I can sit here and I can talk to you guys about it and make videos about it, but it's like, that's a lot of time and effort to put forth a high quality product just for it to just be seen by us.
Nah, I think, but I feel like that's something that no one is really doing right now. I feel like a lot of people are focused on a lot of things, but they're not focusing on why the white cement 4s are important, or why the black cement 3s are important, or why we feel the way we feel about them, like why we feel that this shoe should have did better, why it didn't sell out, why, you know, because we're doing a lot of like, y'all don't respect sneaker culture or the sneakers,
browbeating,
but we're not telling why. Like, this is why this shoe should be what it is. This is why these should have sold out, but y'all going crazy for these. This is why. Kind of like how people do the whole pop culture thing. Like, I've seen multiple videos of like, how did Kim Kardashian become Kim Kardashian? You know, I feel like people should take a spin on it when it comes to sneakers. Like, why? What does it mean that, you know, these are coming out again? Or why we're so excited that we're seeing this Nike basketball revamp of what's my man name? Come on, man. Prime time. What is Deion Sanders?
Deion Sanders.
Yeah. We got the Deion Sanders that are releasing again. Like, what does that mean? You know, because there's a lot of colorways. There's a lot of great storytelling that's going on with those. And it's not really getting any shine besides him putting them on, or we'll see like a little special box. But like, there's some shoes that don't need a special box, like the white cement fours or the Deion Sanders. It's kind of like, this is why, you know. So I feel like that would be a nice spin when it comes to like, what should I talk about today? You know, when it comes to create content for us at least.
It's interesting, like to both of you guys' point, because you do have to actually sometimes come to that actualization, like, or realization that what we do is pretty niche, right? And the fact that we care about these shoes that are, you know, 10 plus years old now is not for everyone, but there is a large audience for it. It's just, it will never be what, like, you know, these creators that are always showing the hype stuff, or I just picked up the new Travis Scotts, or I just picked up the Off-White, or and it sucks to come to that realization, but that's actually why I took the time off, because I'm like, I found myself just kind of buying for the content, and I'm like, yo, I don't even like these shoes, or like I'm okay with not having this shoe in my collection because it doesn't mean much to me, you know. Like, I'm not a huge Jordan 1 guy, and so when everyone was going crazy about the band or I guess the reimagined, not really, but the band ones, like, I was just kind of chilling, and I was enjoying the marketing of it. I was enjoying everything around it. But like, for me, the shoe, it is what it is. Like, hot take, I don't think the Jordan 1 is the most impactful or greatest shoe of all time. Like, I think I think that's a very, very mainstream. Like, Jordan didn't even like the Jordan 1s, right? So like, for us to like hype it up, it's like, but I think it sucks because, like you said, sometimes it's very little views. Like, for me, I'm like, dang, I edited this video for like 2.5 hours and then it got 50 likes, right? But at the end of the day, like, I have to just remind myself, like, this is what I'm in it for. Like, at least for me personally, right? Everyone has their reason for doing it, and that's fine. But for me, as long as I kind of remind myself that I'm here to have these conversations, to build a community, to make, you know, friends essentially of other sneakerheads, then I'm like, I'm on to creating the next one, right? And and with social media, it's so weird. Like, you never know what will work, right? Like, we could do the same exact thing as someone else, and for whatever reason, it blows. Like, they have millions of views or whatever, and we don't, you know. So it's strange. Or people that you feel should be seen more or propelled more shouldn't. And I do think, hot take for the Soul Brothers podcast, I do think we need to hold some of like our sneaker OGs accountable for propelling or advancing some pages that don't really add value to the culture. And they do it because, one, they have access to shoes that these OGs can get from them, right? Or essentially they're resellers or hype beasts that, for whatever reason, give the OGs, you know, access to these products, and so they propel them, and they you know, salute them, and they, you know, co-sign them. And so these pages that really have no interest in advancing the culture get all this love because, oh, PJ Tucker co-signed them, or like, you know, these other people co-signed them, and then these OGs can't complain about the state of sneaker culture, right? And because you're propelling or you're co-signing these people that 5 years ago couldn't tell you or name a shoe aside from the Off-White 10, right? So we do have to hold some of our OGs accountable for that too. Like, you keep platforming people that have no interest in advancing this culture.
You got any names? You got any names? Because I'm thinking 2J's kicks, but I'm
in Vegas, so I have a unique take on 2J's kicks. I don't know him personally. He did stand us up for our show 5 years ago, but I do think, to 2J Kick's credit, he's always been a hustler. Like, he's always been able to make things work. I don't think he was a sneakerhead in the foundation of Urban Necessities, though. I think he was able to build that off the back of someone else's sneaker knowledge, who no longer is with that brand, and 2J's is no longer with that brand either. So just
did he sell it off?
I things have a way of coming around, you know.
Okay. Hey, see,
Things have a way of coming around.
I like that. I like that hot take, man. Welcome to the dark side. I don't know if you've listened to previous episodes. I've always said that I hate that we complain about who's at the top and why this person not getting seated, why this and that, because I feel like we control that. So when someone posts a video that we feel shouldn't do well, we're still under it. Oh, this is fire. Oh, this is fire, because it's Beamer that's dropping it. Not saying that I'm just using that example, but
Yeah.
it's because Beamer dropped it. Fire, man, you killing it. When in reality, he's saying that Travis Scott is the all-time greatest shoe ever. When the people that's really been around, like Travis Scott, all-time, what? No. But again, we'll see these retweets, we'll see these reposts, or people stitching the video like, you know what? That's a great take. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not. It's not. And it's kind of hard because I tell you my personal experience. When I was speaking on these people that were I had this whole run where I was saying like we're taking down the elites, and it was pretty much I was speaking on people that were in high places or had strong influence that shouldn't be where they're at. And somebody personally hit me up and was like, to the brands, you're being viewed as being negative. And I had to kind of sit back and like, I gotta approach it in a different way. Because it felt like I was more of knocking those people down. Well, they viewed it as I was knocking those people down rather than like, this is why I feel they shouldn't be this way. Because it just kind of felt like I was like, I'm picking on a person. That's what it felt like to them. And that's why now when I do bring up a person, I speak on their name, I have a reason behind it. This is why I feel that this person is not pushing the culture forward. This is why I feel this person shouldn't have this influence, because this information that they said is not right. Or this information that they did is not the way it should be. Like, I mean, just recently with Z Sneakerhead and Complex, he said that the Tokyo Files were coming out, and they're like, nah, that ain't happening. And everybody was like, oh, dang, bro, you got the wrong news, all this. And then they came back around, and they're like, oh, we're sorry, you are right. And there was no outrage like, oh, Complex News was just... Because they really could have created something that could have spiraled into something else. Mm-hmm. It could have really made him an unreliable source to a lot of people, because people follow Complex. You know, they listen to what they say. So when they come and say like, oh, that's not right, the next time from that, if they would have never came back and corrected that from that post on, every time he would post something, there would have been at least one person. Oh, you said that about the Tokyos. Oh, you said this about the Tokyos. Oh, you said it, you know, so it's just like these people that have the influence, I feel like they should, I ain't gonna say tread lightly, but like, if you're gonna
tread lightly, it's okay. Just tread lightly.
I love my.
You was going, bro. You were going.
My publicist. But if you're gonna speak on things like that, especially like just with your influence, you gotta. I feel like you gotta come correct. You gotta come correct, and that's why I try to come correct, or I try to choose my words. Like, let me get together my thought before I say this, because I don't want to go back on it and be like, oh well, I didn't mean it that way. So yeah, I like that take. I'm a fan of that take.
I think too, we have to learn to separate like our expectations from the brand's expectations, right? Like, because you have good people at the brands that actually care about shoes, but they have a job to do, right? And essentially at the end of the day, their job is to get a shoe in front of someone who has the largest possible audience. And until we find a better way of justifying it, or in their eyes, they have to be able to justify to their bosses, like, hey, why did you send these people shoes, right? Like, and they have to be able to say, like, they have this amount of followers. Like right now, metrics is the only way they justify that, right? Like they're like, hey, this person has 100,000 followers. They get an average of 200,000 views on a reel. So that's our way to justify what's happening, even though personally they may connect with you what you do, right? Like, because I'm sure all of us have people from the brands that follow us or like connect with us and talk to us. They still have a job to do in that they have to put that shoe in front of someone who can get it in front of the most eyes. So I never take it personally, or when I see it, whether in my own, like in my own head, it makes sense. Like, yo, this guy doesn't really know what they're talking about. I understand that from a brand's perspective, they're like, hey, this is the best way to, like, this is the only way we know how to justify the seating or getting these shoes in front of people is these metrics that they have. And it can be frustrating, right? Because for us, we like the real, we like the stories, we like the storytelling. But I think there's a shift beginning. I think obviously like Phil with Unheard Of and some of these other brands are starting to see that like there's influence in these, what you call like micro influencers, these people that don't have 100,000 followers, where it's not, the influence isn't hollow, right? Like these people actually have communities that they're building around them and people that care about what they say. And as those grow, so will their influence, right? And you'll have, whereas you'll have 100 to 150 people that are like, yo, anything they do, I'm going to listen to, I'm going to follow, versus, these major influencers that maybe right now are just like, of the 100,000 people that see it, actually, 10 to 20 took the time to actually listen to what they were saying. So I think there's a shift beginning.
And I like that you brought it up, because I feel like it's like how we speak on the OGs giving those cosigns. I feel like they're OGs, and now this has become their job. So like those cosigns are more part of the job sometimes. Like they know like this probably doesn't make sense. He's not probably respected well when it comes to the on ground people that's really collecting. But right now he's got 500,000 views on his video. He's got a ton of brands watching him. So it's part of my job. So it's better that I make a friend of this guy rather than an enemy of this guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you see these big influencers or OGs that are still making videos with the sneaker cons, or making videos with people that pretty much we don't really give the cosign to. So I feel like it's a very a slippery slope. Is that what they call it?
Slippery slope. Good job.
I'm about to say something.
I think too, just kind of a last point on that too. Some of these people are good people too, and their entrance to sneakers may have been a little different than ours. So I try to tread lightly and say like, all right, like, who am I to say you don't deserve the opportunity, right? Because when we get those opportunities, there's going to be people saying, yo, why are they getting that opportunity, right? And so for me, I like, there's a reason behind it. And we have our opinions. And there's some people that just are not good people that and show their face, and you're like, all right, that person. But at the end of the day, like, I think the opportunities will come to those who deserve it, and for those that feel like they deserve it and aren't getting it yet, just keep creating, man. Like, look at Kari's a good example. I know he's a friend of the show. He's starting to get crazy respect, but I mean, I was watching him on YouTube in like 2019, right? 2020, where his videos were doing like 800 views, 1,000 views, but there was just this consistency about it that allowed him to get to where he's at today. I feel like he should have triple the followers he has, but this whole social media thing is a game, right? Like, it's sometimes you play and you win, sometimes you play and you lose, but you just got to keep playing.
I mean, there's a lot of times where I just kind of want to shut the camera off for good, It's just like, because I always say, man, I was collecting before the cameras were rolling, before we were making videos. I mean, I was when I first picked up a camera and made a video, I had been collecting already 10 years plus. So it was like, I was getting into it. I'm like, Morgan knows. I'm all the time like, bro, who is this? Who, why are these people important? I don't, and he'll tell me, I'm like, oh, I remember buying that shoe. Oh, I remember that. Oh, okay, it makes sense. Oh, they wrote for Kicks on Fire. I didn't know that, So like, a lot of these people, I'm not really biased to, because I don't have the emotional attachment to them. So it's just like, the pinch and dunks don't do nothing for me. Sorry, it doesn't do nothing for me. I'm sorry, it doesn't do nothing for me. It's not one of my all time grails. It's not one of those if I ever get the money, I'll buy them. It's not. I understood. I was into sneakers when it happened. I mean, and to me, New York, I don't know how other states view it, but New York has always been viewed as like, oh, they really into sneakers. Like they really doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like we down south, we really like sneakers, but when it comes to like New York, we're like, oh nah, bro, they really be doing, like, it's more than sneakers for them. You didn't really see a lot of people like, oh, from North Carolina, it's really like, oh, I'm collecting a bunch of sneakers, or like you didn't see these big names, household names, they're collecting sneakers. You knew people that had just as many sneakers as you did, but it wasn't like, let me hop in front of a camera and make a video. It was never like that. So when I see these people, I respect the fact that other people respect them. So like when I see these names or these writers, these authors, these designers, these creators, whatever you want to call them, like I respect them because other people respect them. Like, all right, let me tap in before I say what I need to say. So y'all want to get into the showcase shoe?
Let's get into it.
All right.
Flex, you going first?
Yeah. So I've been trying to figure out like how I want to go about the showcase shoe from now on. So I think for the next few episodes, I'm gonna be showcasing shoes that like either people forgot about, don't care about, didn't really get a chance to wear them or whatever. So I went.
But you just trying to show off your kamikazes. You're just trying to show off the kamikaze collection.
Crazy enough.
No way.
So I went with the alternate Olympic 7s. I think it was a fun time when we were seeing the alternate colorways that they had in mind, or alternate
looking back,
designs.
Yeah,
I mean,
looking back, it
was. Obviously not better than what we originally got, the original Olympics. But I see the vision. I see the vision. I feel like we could have did something with these. I'm just not a fan of that right there. That the blue. I feel like if they would just kept it like, I don't know, white. Maybe kept it white and then gave it like some gold threads. I think we might have had something on our hands. But yeah, alternate Olympics Retro 7.
You wear those?
I do. You can see
those are fun. Yeah.
I mean,
those are fun.
Hey, if you cuff them real nice, they be like, "Oh, you got on the Olympics."
You gotta cuff them just right. Put some safety pins in there,
bro.
and make sure them pants don't move.
Bro, that's a joke, bro. Because even with, like, the midsole don't even look at it, bro.
Yeah,
you're not gonna confuse that. It would be like, what are those? Are those kind of remind me of the Shoe Man era? Where you get them from, Shoe Man? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, these exclusive. What I brought was I don't buy a lot of Jordans, but I got the new white cement 4s. As I said earlier, I was able to walk into a store at 8 p.m. after I got done with working, and I was able to pick these up. And to be honest with you, if I had the 2016 pair, I wouldn't have grabbed these, but I have the 2012 pair, and they're kind of on their last legs. It's for one, it's kind of not, I don't want to say disappointing that these are sitting. I hope everybody who wants them gets them for retail. But what I do think is like, looking at them, they're not super special. Like, the leather quality, the things that I look for in sneakers isn't fantastic. It's a white cement 4. But I'm happy. I think this is a shoe that a lot of sneakerheads from our era should have a clean pair in the collection.
Yeah. I agree.
Aaron, what'd you bring today?
There
they are.
There it is.
Grandma's Couch 2.0.
Yep. You spent a lot of time around Phil recently, right?
Let's talk about
it. Phil's the man. Like, Phil's such a good dude. He brought me out to his Building Bridges event, and then ever since then, I've been going to the Unheard of releases. His staff is top notch, man. Shout out to all the guys. at the store at Unheard Of. It's a cool shop in downtown Cincinnati. It was my first time actually in Ohio, in Cincinnati. I've been to Indianapolis before, but never to Cincinnati. It's a cool little city, man. And but yeah, these shoes, I mean, my baby girl, my daughter's name is Naomi, so this is a shoe. My wife could care less about shoes, but when she saw the Dear Naomi on them, she was yeah, we need a pair of those. This was, I think, it's the best rivalry. The gum bottom is crazy, and then just the details, like on the insole, they have a drawing of his grandma. I actually saw these at the Building Bridges event, so I kind of known about these coming out for a while now, and I saw the piggy runners too. Phil pulled a couple of us back into the shop. I don't know what I was doing there, to be honest. It was like me, 80 Sneaks, KO was there, and Arab Lincoln, Tyler, and he was just like, yo, come here. And he like kind of let us in and took us to the back and was like, yo, these are some samples we got coming out. So I was like, oh shoot. You know, I never saw the blue piggy runners, but I did see the pink ones. So I knew the pink ones were dropping, but
I think he's kind of surprised us all with the blue ones, right? Like,
yeah. Well, I went to the kids event that morning and I saw them there. And he was like, don't post them. And I was like, oh, all right. Because I was like, oh, are these a sample? Like, and he was like, and he like texted me before the event. He was like, wait till you see the surprise. So I'm thinking, like, I don't know, maybe it's the box or something crazy. But then when it's a blue pair dropping, but even the green pair, I didn't know was shock dropping. But yeah, man, I think Phil has a way of telling the story and like connecting with people. There's one thing that he always does is look out for the kids and just connecting them with people that they can relate to. And he takes care of the people around him. Like, I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but one of the ladies, if you're ever at one of the events, that kind of is running around and organizing a lot of things, kind of in charge, is actually one of his childhood teachers.
Oh, wow.
Was a good influence, like was a major influence in his life. And she's funny, man. She's a good lady. She actually failed him. And so you would think he would have some resentment, but she gave him a lot of life advice and like really took him under her wing. And so till this day, she works like all of the events and you see her with her, like, you know, all the Unheard Of stuff. So it's kind of cool to kind of get to know the people around him and some of the people he's taken care of for a long time. Her son comes and works the events with her. So it's really a family feel out there. So yeah, this is my showcase shoe of the day. This is a really good shoe. I actually have two pairs, and so one I'm gonna keep just stocked, and the other I'm gonna try to beat up.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I really enjoy what Phil's doing. And I think what's what draws me to it is just how authentic it feels, you know. Like the teacher failing you, and you know, it's just the connection he makes with people, just the stories that he tells, how he tells them. You know, it's not because I know at the end of the day it is media, but it doesn't feel like your average media. Like, wow, look at these! You never seen these before. You know, it's kind of
he's using his powers for good.
Yeah. You know,
he's using his powers for good.
Yeah, you know, and I appreciate that.
He was just out. I mean, he went and spoke at AD Sneak School,
which was dope. I seen that,
which is fantastic. I think on this podcast, Phil is reaching J-Tips level. I think we got to get him on. Yeah, right. Like he's reaching J-Tips level on this podcast because we talk a lot about the things that J-Tips does, and you know, we're huge fans of everything that he does. But with Phil, man, like, and I was early on the J-Tips train. I feel like I'm still a little late on Phil because I got the first Grandma's Couch pair. Now I keep seeing all these other things I keep missing on. I'm like, bro, what am I doing? Like, I got the Piggy Runners, but again, I got those on eBay, right?
Yeah.
And I think my greatest shame is that I do live in Indianapolis, and it's a 2-hour drive to Cincinnati, man. Like,
I didn't realize how close that was, man.
Yeah, right. Like, I do live in Indy, and for me to have not gone out there,
at least the one
myself, like what am I doing? Like, I need to. Yeah, I really need to show him some love because the things he's doing are fantastic.
Right.
So
Yeah, come out, man. The events are always cool. It's very much like I was always scared, like when I went out to the Building Bridges event, because you never know how like social media people are in real life, right? Like that was always my biggest fear was like, all right, I'm gonna get there. How I feel. But I think he's done such a great job of just like leveling out the playing field, right? Because you have everything from people with crazy ton of followers to people with followings like mine, right? That are just in the same room. And it's crazy because he actually, after the Building Bridges event, there was like a group chat that was created and it had everyone that was there, like, and he just said like, this was my way of building some of these bridges between some creators that maybe possibly would have never crossed paths, right? And so that was my first time meeting Kari in person, and like KO's such a cool dude, man. Like he's so down to earth. And so I'm like in these like spaces with these people, and I'm like, yo, outside of Phil, like I would have never been introduced to or like had a chance to really organically meet these people. So he's recognizing the power of community, and but even Cincinnati, I mean, you have corporate there, Matt from corporate. He's a really good dude too, man. Like I went up to corporate on one of the trips, and he sat there and talked to us for like an hour and a half. Like just you would think like sometimes, hey, I'm a store owner, I have multiple stores, like I'm too busy or too cool for you. Nah, man, he sat there, talked to us for like an hour and a half in the middle of the workday, and then gave me his number after. He was like, yo, let's keep in touch. Like if I'm ever out in Vegas, I'll hit you up. And I'm like, yo, like from a distance, right? Sometimes you're like, all right, like this dude's gonna kind of play us a little bit or say what's up, and then I'm busy, bro. Like I got work to do. No,
I love you, but I'm busy.
I love you, but I'm busy. Not like that. So that's kind of been the eye-opening thing about these events is getting to know some of these people personally and realizing that, yo, they're actually a lot cooler in person than what I would have imagined. Some aren't though. Some aren't. Like you get the social media influencer ego on some of them, right? Where you're just like, all right, bro, sorry I talked to you, but but for the most part, they've all been pretty dope.
Name drop. No, I'm playing. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Oh, don't talk to me. I mean, go ahead.
I'm going to make it a priority to get out there and
you
see
should, man.
Because if New York was closer, man, I'd be.
Oh, I was finna say, don't you dare say if J Tips had the event, you would go, bro. I was finna say, don't you dare.
No, yeah. If New York was close, see this, bro. I love the kids that I work with, and I love working with them. So it's hard to, hey, we got a standing lesson every Saturday, right? Like I want to honor that, but I love you, but I'm busy.
I mean, I gotta talk to our accountant and get Morgan out there, man. Get him out there unheard of, and put him on some Soul Brothers gear. Have all his little media pass. Soul Brothers giving out cars.
Bro, our accountant going like this with a few quarters, bro.
Yeah. Oh, so
I think we can swing it.
The 25 cents that y'all made from YouTube this month, we probably can get a couple stickers made. But what was special about the last event that I want to talk about is what I seen, and I kind of ran with. I liked when they said that the collab that we didn't know we need between you and Haas, what y'all were doing out there, man. Again, one of those things just kind of feel like it was authentic. Like y'all came together, was like, hey, let's do this. All right, let's do it.
Dudes who love sneakers, bro.
Yeah,
it's always authentic when it's dudes who share the same passion.
And it felt like y'all were asking actual questions, not like those, let's see let's ask them about what's the best all black Air Jordan. It was actual getting to know this person, why this person is there, what they love about the event, what they love about what Phil is doing, and just what they love about sneakers in general. So, again.
Yeah, so Haas is my guy. Haas and I have actually known each other for over 5 years now. It's kind of nuts. Like but Phil's event, the last one, the Piggy Run, was the first time like meeting in person. But before then, we'd be on like FaceTime and stuff. And back when Haas had the chubbier face,
hey, buddy is going through a transformation. I've been seeing some of the old videos, man.
He's working hard, bro. Even at those events, he's up early in the gym. So, I think for me, that's what it's about. Like I got there. he had flown in the night before to do the Sneaky Link pod. I just couldn't take the extra day off of work, so I got in. Vegas has the most terrible flights to Cincinnati, so like I've been on a red eye every time I go out there. So that's why I didn't want to be in front of the camera, because I get there like at 6 a.m. every time.
Oh yeah.
And then you check into the hotel, and then you get the day started super early. So I'm always dead. So I apologize to anyone. This last trip, I was there for 24 hours. Like I landed, as I was getting to the hotel, I had to check in for my flight the next day. Like that's how little time we had. So, but yeah, that's. When we got out there, you usually see those sneaker line videos like, what do you got on? What do you want to spend? Or what's the worst shoe of all time? And why is it the Panda Dunk? No. Yeah, we just, because again, going back to like the community that Phil has built, like some of those people drove 8 hours, right? Like, to get there. And so we wanted to know why it was so important for them to make the drop. And then other people came from like Indianapolis or other parts of Ohio, to be there for the drop. But he's kind of built that where everyone there's no, it's kind of weird because I haven't been to too many sneaker events, but like, I would imagine that a lot of them are reseller heavy, and a lot of people that are there just to resell. And not that this doesn't happen, right? I saw you got your pair on eBay, the signed one. I saw that clip of the signed pair. But the majority of people there, I would say, are there just to interact and meet Phil and support him. And you have these like older middle-aged white guys that have on all Adidas tracksuits, and then the grandma's couches on the feet, and you're like, this guy's not wearing that if it wasn't for Phil,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of makes that environment special. So we just wanted to get out there and talk to people. But even all the people like in my recap video that have agreed to get on, like Key and Tiana and the Sneaky Leak ladies were on the recap video. Everyone's just kind of, I think the environment there is in a way that people are willing to collaborate,
Yeah, for sure.
I get those. I can see those vibes. I remember, I think it was the bridge, the bridge pair they had, building bridges, and I seen that Key was out there and she was speaking with a lot of people, and Key's one of my favorites when it comes to the sneaker content creation. And I love the fact that she was getting her flowers out there, that she was out there, that he felt that she should be out there, and then they were cooking up stuff together. Like, I appreciate stuff like that, because that lets me know that he's truly watching. Like, he's truly like, yo, like,
he knows what's going on.
Yeah, she has a crazy influence. She really is putting these, like, she's putting these shoes on and she's wearing them. She's creating a fit around these shoes. Like, she is what we love about sneakers, looking at those crazy pairs and putting the fit together and just, spreading that love and positivity. So ever since then, I've been a big fan of his. And plus, I mean, that man got people buying rivalry lows. Let's be honest here. We're not gonna play like the rivalry lows.
Bro, our
my first pair of rivalry lows are a feeling unheard of. I promise you. Grandma couch.
Bro, you sound like our old heads, bro. You sound like you sound like our old heads.
Yeah, it's true though, bro. Rivalry lows, no one's checking that. Those are routinely on sale, $35 on the Adidas app, and he has a way of, and he has a whole reason for choosing the rivalry low and things like that. And obviously, you play the game with the brands of what shoes they would let you do and what they won't let you do. But yeah, Key at the Building Bridges event kind of got on her microphone and was talking about Phil and how he gave people opportunities, and he really amplifies women, right? Like his ethos is consistent, which is something you have to appreciate, where a lot of the influencers he brought out to the event were women, and giving them opportunities to shine and be a part. And I know he had, like, at the children's event that he does every time, he had like the Sneaky League girls talking to the girls. He brought in all girls school, and they were able to talk to the girls about their journey and give the girls advice. And so there's no inconsistencies there with Phil, which is what I appreciate the most. Is like, his grandma obviously is one of the biggest parts of his life, and his sister, and he pays homage to a lot of the women in his life. So these events, a lot of the people that are there that he's inviting out, that he's prioritizing being there, are the women in the culture.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. My man Phil is doing all the right things right now, and we truly appreciate that. But Aaron, we appreciate you, taking time out your day, hopping on Soul Brothers podcast. Is there any closing remarks?
Man, I think I do want to shout out a couple of people.
Go ahead.
80 Sneaks, shout out to my guy.
Yes.
80 Sneaks, he is a real
Friend
one,
of the
man.
show.
Like he is such a down to earth dude. A lot of people with the following he has would have 10 times the ego and would be less accessible, but we were together the whole time out in Cincinnati, and he's just a cool, really down to earth dude. Shout out to Haas, man. Like Haas is my guy. He's doing his thing, man, and it's kind of cool seeing so fun fact, I gifted Haas his first mic. That's how long ago. Like his
interesting
mic, the mic that he uses when he does the at-home video, which I'm glad he's doing the studio now, but the mic that I sent it out to him because I'm like, yo, I like what you're doing, bro. Like, but you can't be using a snowball mic anymore. So,
you know who he sent that snowball mic to?
Who? You? Okay.
He sure did.
Yeah,
that's got to be like a rite of passage for anybody doing content is like somebody else buying their mic. Flex bought this mic.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, you bought my first mic. I bought this one.
So funny.
Did you buy me a mic?
Yeah.
That's a new mic.
When'd you get that mic?
When I started doing this setup.
No, you bought the boom. I bought that mic, I thought.
No, this came with the mic.
We got the.
I can run and grab it. I can run and grab the mic.
Oh, no,
You're
good.
Now we got the Brotherhood of the Traveling Mics, man.
Yeah, right.
Cool little connection.
I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta pass the snowball mic on. You gotta pass it on to somebody.
That's true. To going back to Haas, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I would be podcasting if it weren't for Haas.
Yeah.
I know Flex. This is all Flex's idea to do this. To do this podcast, like it's always been his idea, his creation, his organization. But I don't think I would have had the. Hey, it is. But if Haas hadn't invited me onto his on his podcast,
what
I don't think I would have had.
What episode? Like
early, bro.
Yeah, like we had 2 separate episodes, and then we had an episode together. Me and Mo had an episode together. But it was early. I think it was like year 1.
It was early, yeah.
I think it was like year 1 of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I don't think I would be. Have the courage to get in front of a camera and talking to a mic about sneakers because I was very nervous that first time. Now it's just like, hey, time to go.
Yeah, my man, hop on here all late.
So shout out to Haas, man, for sure.
And
even though he's a Knicks fan,
go Knicks,
bro.
No, hey, last night I thought we were cooked. I thought the Knicks. I thought it was 3-0, and then that second half,
it was too.
That first half, I was like, oh man, we're getting swept by the Pacers.
But during the episode though, we just got good news. What? Tyrese Halliburton's father is coming back to the arena, baby. He's coming back to the games.
Can you imagine him and Cat? That would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
We already have all the Cat memes going around.
I know.
Cat impression is crazy.
Oh man. And then last, shout out to Mike, the Sneaker History Podcast, man. That's one of my guys.
Shout out Mike.
All friends of the show.
Yeah, he's a good guy. We chat often about this whole content creation space, and just we have a place where we just bounce ideas off of each other, and so I want to shout out those 3 guys. But honestly, just anyone trying to do their part to build this community, right? Like you guys are hosting this podcast and trying to create conversations, and I'm a sneaker nerd. I would consider myself. I think Morgan is kind of one too. Where so like those things. When Flex was talking about like the writers and the designers and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, I love that stuff. Like, I love like figuring out who designed what, and then they also designed this shoe, and so But yeah, just shout out to everyone that's building the community up in one way or the other. But thank you guys again for having me on.
Thank you, man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time away from your Memorial Day. I know this is generally a day where people want to do absolutely nothing, so we appreciate you taking time away from your Memorial Day to hang out with us.
Absolutely, man. We do appreciate your time.
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm now reaching the point where I care about like who writes, who write what, who designs what. I'm at that point now, because I mean, just being like,
isn't it fun?
To be flat out honest, like I just didn't care before. Like I just didn't. I mean, that was not why I was buying sneakers. It was just literally my love for sneakers. With that being said, I want to touch back to the pigeon dunk. I want people to understand that has nothing to do with Jeff Staple. That has nothing to do with how I feel about him and what he's did. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say that was a little interesting.
But I'm just saying because I know like that's like like that is the when you say that, it's just like you right, and it doesn't do that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, oh, pigeon dunk, oh, that's cool. Next page. So that's what I mean, and that's more of like me trying to tell my story of like how I got into sneakers.
Yeah.
I got into sneakers just by like just literally just being out in the wild, looking out like, oh, those are nice. What are those? Let me check and see what those are. Oh, those are the Air Max Plus. Oh, okay. It wasn't because, Tinker did this design and then he made this design and then they wrote about it on, it wasn't like that. But yeah, you're right. It is fun. It is fun now, seeing who created what.
As the background knowledge gets deeper, the more we can enjoy what we have, right? Like, I enjoy having these bricks, right? I enjoy having the white cement floor because of all the background knowledge and all that other stuff. So I just think that, it's just something that makes collecting sneakers more enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, guys, that's crazy. With that being said, guys, as I always say, love, peace, and sneakers.
Peace.
So brothers, so brothers, retro 7s, retro 3s, metallic 7, retro 11, sitting on freeze. They got so